Hello, everyone. Hope you all had a less than manic Monday. As for me, it was a normal day, if there is such a thing. A big Monday means spooky places. And this week, we shall travel to all sorts of places, and our first stop is Mott, Victoria, Texas. This picnic grove got its name from a cantankerous ghost who was seen there. William Sutton was a goat herder who lived in the area in the 1850s. He was murdered on a Sunday while walking up the church steps in the nearby town of Goliad. Since then, his ghost has haunted this serene patch of live oak trees. Horses and dogs refuse to enter the grove, and tales of drifting phantoms and ghostly bodies hanging from the trees abound. Some say Sutton returns to guard his strong box of gold he had buried there. Okay, next stop is the Comanche House in Santa Fe, New Mexico. This house is haunted by a mischievous presence that likes to grab ladies in various places, as well as their ankles, and trip them. It is supposed that men are not bothered by this behavior or grabbed in the same places. Either they like it or they don't complain as much as do women visitors. A tenant has seen the impression of an invisible person on the comforter on her bed, and heard the voices from groups of people coming from an empty basement. The unearthly voices have also been heard by visitors to the house, which was used as a brothel and gambling hall in the 1920s. Interesting. Plymouth, England. The Bedford Hotel. Bedford, an ornate hotel near Plymouth, was built in the 15th century on the top of the 10th century Benedictine Abbey. The present stone porch and gateway were part of the original abbey. The Bedford's ghost originates from that era. Shin is a young girl who was raped and murdered by a monk. Now her frequently sighted apparition walks through the corridors and bedrooms of the hotel, and has even appeared to guests in the hotel restaurant. And the last stop for today is the Bonds Chapel Cemetery in Indiana. Indiana legend includes a story that began with a common element of love and jealousy, but ended with a distinctively uncommon conclusion. It is a story of the mysteries of the Bonds Chapel and the chain and the cross. A logger was returning home, a smile on his face. His workday had ended early, offering him a brief respite from his back-breaking labor. He was looking forward to surprising his wife by arriving home early and sharing his good fortune with her. He could not know that his luck would be his undoing. When he walked into the home, his wife was not only one who was surprised. The logger was shocked to find his wife in the arms of another man. The logger was overcome with anger and rage, and his mind snapped. He grabbed the logger's chain that was hanging nearby and strangled his wife with it. The logger was not charged with any crime. At the time, it was apparently his right as the husband to react so violently. He would not, however, escape unscathed. Days later, as he worked chaining logs to a wagon, the logger heard a crack. A chain had broken loose and was whipping itself through the air at breakneck speed. The logger didn't have time to react. The chain broke his neck and he died. His body was laid to rest in Bond Cemetery, a tombstone marking his place. This is where the legend turns strange. 1 year after the day on which the logger had killed his wife, the image of a chain link began to take shape on the logger's tombstone. As the years passed, more links appeared, until they were formed the shape of a cross, holy symbol for the distinctively unholy crime. Most surprisingly of all, the tombstone was changed during these years as the cemetery resented the unwelcome attention being directed at the infamous stone, yet the links continued to appear. Now they carry the weight of the curse the logger brought upon himself. Legend has it that should you touch the chain, you will die by the chain. Among the stories is one concerning a rider who passed through the chapel one night near the grave. He didn't touch the grave, but raced out of the cemetery when a large white form began to rise from the ground. His head was nearly torn off by a logger's chain stretched between two trees. Had he touched the grave, legend claims he surely would have been killed. Well, that is it. I hope you enjoyed the spooky places for this week, my friends, and wishing you all a spooky night.